Thank you for clicking this video. This is Mujola Olua and you're welcome to Battle with Ola. On this channel we talk about law and some more law for the layman, for the law student and for the lawyer. Today we want to talk about how to interview an IPO, that's an investigating police officer. We've talked about how to open trial, we've talked about how to tender documents, we've talked about how to examine, cross-examine, re-examine witnesses, but particularly in this video, I want to talk about how you should open a criminal trial. You would recall that the video we did on commencement of trial, we used a civil trial, that's a divorce proceeding, as our case study. So today we want to use a criminal matter. We're going to assume that this is a crime of armed robbery, and there's only one defendant, and the information has been filed in court, and now the prosecution wants to take their first witness, the investigating police officer. At this stage, the plea has already been taken and the defendant has pleaded not guilty. So the onus is now on the prosecution to prove him guilty. So they have called their first witness into the box. My director is going to be asking me the question and I'm going to be giving the answers. So I'll be the IPO in this case study and I'll be answering. Don't forget that on this channel we have repeated it, at different times, that the WH questions are very important. They are the way to open trial in any matter, civil or criminal. But there's a slight variation when it's a criminal matter and when the witness is the IPO. So we're going to be looking at that as well as we open this armed robbery trial with PW1, that's prosecution witness 1, the investigating police officer.
Officer, tell this honorable court your name.
My name is Woman Sergeant Johnson Cecilia.
What station are you attached to?
I'm attached to the Elewero police station at the divisional headquarters in Elewero.
Your first number or AP number?
My first number is A342210B.
Take a look at the witness box. Do you know the defendant? Milord, the defendant is Olu James. So defendant, Milord.
Yes, I know the defendant.
How do you know the defendant?
Actually, my team and I arrested the defendant on the 9th day of March 2022 in connection with a crime of armed robbery.
Why was he arrested?
He was arrested in connection with a crime of armed robbery.
Tell this honorable court how you arrested the defendant.
As I said, on the 9th day of March 2022, my team and I received intelligence that an armed robbery operation was going on by a notorious gang around the Unilag axis of Saboyaba, Lagos. We immediately swung into action and we arrived at the location just as the armed robbers were trying to make away with their loot, and were able to arrest the defendant at the scene of the crime, just as he was fleeing with his gang members, who are now at large.
So what did you do after the arrest?
After we brought him in, I took his statement and I handed him over to the officer in charge of the night duty for that day, as I rotated out of duty for the day.
You said you took the statement of the defendant.
Yes, my lord.
If you see the statement, would you recognize it?
Yes, my lord.
Is this the statement?
Yes, my lord. This is the statement of Olu James, the accused person, the defendant, my lord. The statement will then be shown to the other party, that is the counsel to the defendant, the defense counsel, after which the statement will be tendered in evidence. My lord, we seek to tender the statement of Olu James, the defendant, in evidence.
Report.
Then after it's been tendered, the prosecution will continue their investigation.
Did you make a report of investigation in this matter?
Yes, my lord, I made a report of my investigation in the matter.
If you see the report, will you be able to identify it?
Yes, my lord, I will be able to identify it.
Is this the report?
Yes, my lord, this is my report. After that, the report will be shown to the other counsel, the defense counsel, and then it will be tendered in evidence. So the prosecution will say something like, my lord, we seek to tender the report of the investigation police officer in this matter in evidence. Then it will be marked. The statement must have been marked Exhibit A, so this would probably be Exhibit B or Exhibit A1, depending on how the court wants to do it. And then the prosecution will continue.
What else did you do in this matter?
I handed him over to the officer for night duty, and then I rotated out for the day, and that was all. That's what I did in the matter. My other team members continued the investigation the next day, but that is all that I did in the matter. Once the prosecution has exhausted the questions they want to ask the IPO, they would say, that'll be all for the witness, my lord, and then to the defense, your witness. And then the defense will do cross-examination. Of course, you know that cross-examination will be based on what the police officer has said during examination in chief and what is contained in his report and the confessional statement. And cross-examination is also at the discretion of the defense counsel. After the IPO has been cross-examined, it will be returned back to the prosecution for re-examination. So the court will ask re-examination, and if prosecution asks, they will ask. And if prosecution does not have any other questions, they would say
nil, my lord.
And that will be all for the investigating police officer. And then the prosecution will ask that their witness be discharged.
My lord, may I pray the court to discharge the witness?
And then the court will say, witness, you can step down. And then the IPO will step out of the witness box. So that's essentially how to open a criminal trial from the prosecution's perspective, especially if you're calling the investigating police officer. It doesn't necessarily have to be PW1. You can call any other witness. So if you're calling any other witness, it will really be similar to how you examine witnesses or open trials for civil matters. But I just thought to make this video because that of the IPO is slightly different, and some leading questions are allowed also because he's speaking as to what he did in a professional capacity. So that will be all in this video. I will see you in my very next video. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to check the description box. Toodles!